Alex Rodriguez did not go to Derek Jeter night and was seen by TMZ out with J-Lo. And I'm curious to see.
He actually Instagrammed a picture of himself with his kids, with his daughters, and I think his mom at lunch, and then obviously all dressed up nice with J-Lo at night.
Yeah. And so
sounds like the perfect day, really. I mean, really, honestly, is there a better day than that?
No.
No.
It's a pretty good day.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good day.
So he doesn't go, and was he wrong not to go?
I was actually being told, and now from a really reliable source, that he wasn't invited.
Okay.
That changes things,
so
obviously.
now you don't go.
But assuming that we didn't know that or hear that, right, when you start looking at it on its face, I mean, it's kind of awkward that he wasn't there. I mean, if the opportunity presented itself for him to be there, I mean, you start talking about A-Rod, and every athlete wants to have a home after they retire, right? After they walk away from the game. A-Rod wants to be associated with the New York Yankees franchise. Spent a decade here played with Derek Jeter. I mean, obviously, when you talk about Jeter's career, iconic Yankee franchise player, even if you're not friends, you have to show that respect for a figure like that in the organization, right? Especially if you want to be considered in the Yankees family.
Chris, if this was any of the teams you play, either Dallas or the Giants, and it's someone being honored who's an all-time great.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say Justin Tuck.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that name because obviously you guys have a good relationship.
Yes.
But let's just say it was always, hot and cold.
It's a respect thing.
But you weren't invited, though. You didn't get an invite. It's his day.
Everybody's
focused on him, and they know you guys have a little something.
You don't want to make it about you, right? Because it's that player's particular day. So if it's somebody that goes out of their way to express that they don't want you around, then you don't come around. And I get that part of it. But if it's an opportunity for you to be there and nobody's expressed any sentiment one way or the other, then you make it a point to be there and you show that respect.
A-Rod walks in the building, everybody knows he's in the building. And once you know he's in the building, there's cameras and tape recorders and everything else in his face, and they're asking him to say nice things about Jeter. And then, of course, it's at Jeter's press conference, hey, Alex is here. Are you happy that he came to support you?
You guys are friends again?
Yeah, and we know what happened at BTIG. We were there. We
saw
it.
We were there.
All right, there's A-Rod. There's Jeter doing something for CNBC, and A-Rod jumps in on camera, and it was the most awkward thing ever. And Jeter, as the reports say, left that thing, and he was not happy about that. If you're Alex and you know, all right, well, no one's reached out to me to come to this thing, and we just had that little issue, better to stay away.
I think it's more respectful that he didn't show up.
There you go.
Regardless if he was invited or not. I think just with the history of Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez, they were really close. I mean, there were stories about when Derek went to Seattle, he would stay at A-Rod's place, and when A-Rod came to New York to play the Yankees, he would stay at Derek Jeter's place. And the one thing I think that we all know about Derek Jeter, and we hear this all the time, is that once you're in Derek Jeter's circle, you're in his circle for life. But once you cross him once, you're dead to him. And I think that article that came out about A-Rod talking about, I'm asked to do more for my team as far as carry my team offensively as opposed to Derek Jeter. Yeah, he's a great shortstop, but he's not me. That kind of essentially ended the relationship. Now, I think you could almost equate it to this, right? Like, say for some reason that Josh Norman got traded to the Giants. And at some point, Odell Beckham Jr. was being honored by the Giants. Now, if you're Josh Norman, you know the history that you've had with Odell Beckham. You're not necessarily friends. You played in the same team. And if you were invited or not, all of a sudden now you come back, is the conversation more geared towards, oh, you guys are friends now? Or
that's right.
It's more towards the relationship. And I think A-Rod's one of those guys that just naturally, he sucks the life out of a room. Like, everyone, as much as you're there to honor Jeter, like, everyone, like you said, knows that A-Rod's going to be. He is. He's going to be in the building.
Yeah.
And you know what everyone wants. Everyone wants the controversy sells, right? So the questions aren't necessarily going to be the questions that you want to answer if you're Derek Jeter.
No, and Jeter didn't want to answer questions to begin with. As
Period.
You saw.
About himself.
He didn't really want to talk to begin with, so that you throw that into the mix. And that's why, in a way, for A-Rod, it was the right thing to do. Absolutely the right thing to do. And for TMZ to catch him and put it out there, that's not like A-Rod wasn't taking selfies at dinner during Jeter night saying, having a great time, purposely trying to troll it. No, he was just, they were doing what they were doing. So, this is one, I don't think you fault A-Rod.
Yeah, but
think
maybe
it's the
if
right
it's not,
decision.
but if it's not J-Lo, maybe you cook dinner at home.
You think he's just